There's a light in the sky, rising in the air. There's a feeling so strong. It's time to light the fire, like a bright shining light. Learn, getting more out of life. Learn, sharing time with friends, feeling so strong.
Hello, thanks for joining us on the House of Wellness. My name's Luke Darcy, and it's great to be sitting alongside Joe Stanley and Luke Hines. Welcome, guys.
Oh, it's so lovely to be here.
Good to see you.
One member of our team is missing in action, Rachael Finch, kicking some goals over in the US. Starting to get a bit concerned about Rach. We haven't seen her for a while.
He's obviously doing some very good work
An enigma.
Yes.
And our show, Hines, has got a bit of an international feel about it tonight. You've been away in recent times.
Absolutely, mate. I absolutely love LA. It is so fun. The food scene, the fitness culture. I'm going to share with you the latest when it comes to food fads. I feel fantastic when I head over there.
You're going to share that with us later. But first, Joe, you and I have talked a lot over the journey about meditation and mindfulness and the impact it's had on both our lives.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people would be surprised to know just how integral mindfulness is to you, Das, and that actually it's something you use every day.
I was lucky enough in the early 90s to meet a guy called Steve Griffith. He ran our leadership program at the Footscray Football Club, and I have to say it's pretty out there to have a meditation teacher come to the western suburbs of Melbourne. But I, with a couple of my teammates, Joe, put it into my daily routine, which at 19 years of age was a bit of a unique thing to discover. We became good friends over the journey, subsequently built a health retreat in Bali called Sukhavati Bali, which has been a bit of a life changer for me.
Wow, that does sound amazing that you've really absorbed that into all of your life. I would not be the person I am today without mindfulness. Totally changed who I am.
Yeah, likewise. It's surprises me every day as someone who grew up only wanting to be an AFL player to talk meditation on a daily basis. Hines is something I've become really passionate about. And likewise with the retreat Sukhavati Bali. In fact, I drive people crazy. I talk about it all the time.
Well, I'm waiting for an invitation.
Well, anytime, Joe.
I sent you a few messages that go unreplied.
I invite people every day, including my mate Matthew Richardson, who I work with on Saturday nights on Channel 7's AFL coverage. And I've been talking to Richo about it, who's an AFL legend, by the way. Joe, I know you're a fan. He kicked 800 goals. He's a Hall of Famer. And we've been trying to get him up there for a long period of time. Finally convinced him.
Was he a bit sceptical?
Well, just hard to get hold of the great man. And I think...
It's Bali.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a hard task, but we got him up there. Let's take a look.
Hello. How are you? Thank you. I'm very good, thanks. Thank you very much.
Richo, man, welcome to Sukhavati Bali, mate.
How are you, mate?
Good, going well. Been looking forward to getting you up here for a long while, mate.
You've talked about it a lot over the years, so I can't wait to see it.
Mate, what could possibly go wrong? Come in, mate.
Well, if I'm in yoga gear, a lot can go wrong, trust me. Thanks, mate. Jeez, how good's this? Beautiful.
I was introduced to Ayurveda nearly 10 years ago, and it had such an impact on me that we started this resort in Bali. And I thought if anyone could benefit from the 5,000-year-old knowledge of this holistic practice, it would be my man, Richo. This is a tailored program, Richo, that we've got specifically to you and your body type.
I like that.
Nothing you can't handle, big fella.
There's a bit on there.
You'll be fine, mate. It's going to be a good experience, I promise you.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Every guest has a program that's designed specifically for their body type and condition. And for Richo, it starts here with a visit to our Ayurvedic Dr. Raju, who has a unique ability to read what's going on within your body.
So how about your health status?
Yeah, I think I'm going okay. I think I'm reasonably healthy, try to keep fit and try to eat reasonably well. I guess I would say I have my blowouts every now and then, but pretty good.
Can I check your pulse if you don't mind?
Yeah, no worries.
Now, he reads your body by taking your pulse, and apparently he does not miss a thing.
How is your lower back, Matthew?
Yeah, well, it has been a bit stiff recently. Yeah, the left-hand side down low, so yeah, that's spot on.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing's pretty out there, but I'm just going to go with it.
All right, well, I've seen the doc and I've got a few things to work on, but not too bad overall. A bit of a sore lower back, he knew that, he got that spot on. A few things with my diet, too much meat, too much coffee like a lot of people in Melbourne. But hopefully this schedule, I've got a lot on today, hopefully a few of these things can help me out. Let's go and have a good day.
So Das has been raving about the treatments here, and he says the massage is to die for.
I played footy 17 years. I've had a heap of massages, so I'm just thinking, how much different can this one be?
Not sure about this.
I'm hearing hot oil. I'm hearing 2 people, oil all over my head. So I'm a little bit confused as to what I'm in for, but I'm looking forward to it.
So these 2 blokes are massaging my body in sync, which is supposed to get rid of all the toxins, and I can tell you, it feels awesome. So then they start pouring warm oil all over my face, which feels a bit weird to start with, but then I thought, geez, I feel pretty relaxed now. And then they hone in on my sore lower back, and I don't know what they're doing down there, but it's definitely working.
A lot more relaxing than a massage at footy training where they're trying to get knots out of your muscles. So it's pretty relaxing and soothing, and yeah, I feel really good. I feel like just going and lying down and sleeping now.
If only I could. But Das is all over me here. He just won't let me rest for a second.
Rich, I've been looking forward to this part of the agenda. Now tell me, you have had some experience of meditation?
Yeah, a little bit, Das. I did a bit with my former teammate, Kane Johnson, who's got into this field a few years ago. So I did a little bit with him, but only really beginner stuff, really.
Well, I'm really keen to introduce you to an old mate of mine. Taught me meditation well over 20 years ago. His name's Steve Griffith. You up for it?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it, mate.
Let's do it.
The technique that you're going to learn is very simple. It's completely effortless. The very first time you do it, it's going to work.
First time?
First time, all right.
Is that guaranteed?
Yeah.
Money back guaranteed?
Guaranteed. Money back guaranteed.
This type of meditation is very sacred, and so I've been sworn to secrecy on how it's done.
You meditate normally for 20 minutes. And anyone can learn it. It's very simple, very easy. The body is able to recover energy. It's able to dissolve stress very quickly. And you really notice because you get a level of rest deeper than sleep.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of meditation before, mainly more breathing-based meditation. But that was totally different, and as Steve told me, he said it was going to be easy, and it actually did feel easy, so I just feel pretty energised now and feel really good. What have we got next?
Richo, it's been a big day, but you're going to enjoy this part of it. This is yoga with a twist, but I have to say, mate, you're not quite dressed appropriately.
What, you want me to look like you?
You're not joining a cult. This is the appropriate yoga attire at Sukhavati, Bali, my friend.
Mate, you look like David Carradine out of Kung Fu, seriously. What do you look like?
Get the whites on, come and join me, we're ready to go. Come on.
Just come off the set of Enter the Dragon.
All right, relax. Yeah, and then release your stress as well. Okay, start from your hand. Ha, 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 ha.
That's actually genuinely funny. He loves it.
So this went on for about 15 minutes, and seriously, my jaw is still hurting from laughter. It was pretty weird. But geez, it was funny.
Gets you, doesn't it? Thank you very much, Dad. Mate, everything here is optional, but I highly recommend a big belly laugh. That's good fun, isn't it?
Mate, nothing makes you feel better than laughing, and as much as you feel like you're fabricating it, you feel better afterwards. You actually do.
Making me laugh now, thinking about it. Well done, mate. You're on fire.
It was good. It was good.
Let's go.
You got to keep moving, don't you?
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's good stuff. That still makes me want to laugh. I don't know why, but we had a great week up there. It was good fun.
It looks amazing. So do you think Richo is a changed man?
Well, you can ask him yourself. He's going to come up in the show a little bit later on and tell us all about his experience. So I'm looking forward to that. And there's an opportunity for you too to win a 7-day rejuvenation break to our retreat in Bali. So stay tuned for the details later on in the show. Up next, the dating game. All the click, or should I say swipe, on a mobile. That's up next on The House of Wellness. Welcome back to the House of Wellness. I can't lie, Joe, fair to say the dating game very different from when I was a single young lad many years ago.
Yes.
You don't even have to go out the front door anymore. It's all right there on your phone.
Oh, I know. I've been married for 20 years myself, so it's all a bit alien to me. And I remember, do you remember that movie, Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks
Yes.
in 1998, You've Got Mail?
Loved it.
That was radical because it was love on the internet. It's very different now.
Well, funnily enough, then 2 years later, eHarmony came onto the scene, and the questionnaire, I don't know if anyone did it back then, but there was 450 questions, and I think they've narrowed it down a little bit. It's crazy.
Well, it's fair to say the floodgates have opened since then. While it's tricky to get exact numbers around how many Aussies are using online dating sites, research suggests, Joe, that 53% of us know at least one couple who met online, and that 4.5 million people in Australia are using online methods to meet a partner.
For as long as we could choose our mate, humans have done whatever it takes to get a partner. Some found love in the Lonely Hearts column in the classifieds, while others took to the sky. In the 1960s, singles handed over their hearts to a computer the size of a dumpster to find their match.
Far out.
In the 80s, Dexter, the perfect match robot, predicted the compatibility of the lucky couple who won a holiday and the hopes of a life together. The game changer came with dating apps, where singles became couples with a simple swipe. These days, there's Dig for dog lovers, Bristol for beard lovers, and Bumble for women who want to get in touch first. But if single is your thing, then forget the fling and spend Valentine's Day on Huggle. With dating mode switched off, it's all about self-love.
Our tech guru, Vanessa Toholka, has plenty of experience in the online world. How about online dating apps, Vanessa?
Look, I've gone gonzo for this, just for you. I've jumped into a few apps to do some research for myself. I found the data so interesting in this space. Turns out that we think about 3.5 million Australians have used Tinder. Wow. There's lots of money changing hands too.
Yeah.
So we think maybe 18% of Australians have actually dropped money on online dating apps. That might be just over $80 million changing hands annually in this space. So people must be finding some value in there if they're willing to put the money down year after year.
They're looking for love.
They are. What wouldn't we pay?
No, it's true. And is it out there for us, Vanessa? Where would we go?
I think it really is. Some of the apps that are very hot with my friends are things like OkCupid. It's a very question-led sort of tool, and it helps people draw out points of interest about themselves while they're trying to find other people.
Not 450 questions, though.
Certainly not
Okay,
450.
just checking.
There's lots of options to skip things, so you can decide how talkative you want to be. But I like that it prompts things so that you're not going to get so many empty profile experiences where you've just got some fuzzy photographs to go on.
Oh,
Joe?
which you can't trust anyway half the time. I don't know where those
Absolutely
photos
not.
have come from.
Happily married you are.
Yes.
In the event that you weren't, would you imagine getting on the online dating world or not?
Well, I just think it's very common. So why wouldn't you? I have a lot of friends who are on Bumble and have had a lot of success there.
Look, I think it liberates us from the nightclub scene. There can be a bit of a tyranny of feeling that you have to be out in that night world. Bumble has a great reputation. It was started as a bit of a reaction against, say, the Tinder experience, particularly because it's trying to put the power in the hands of the women.
And how does that work? So the women have got to request first, is that?
Women have to initiate communication once two people have liked each other. So it's trying to avoid anything being a bit too preemptive and provocative coming into your inbox.
I know what you mean.
Look, there are some really fun ones in this space. People
Yeah.
have all sorts of desires, and one of those desires...
Hang on.
Well,
is that suitable for television?
It absolutely
okay,
is.
Not too kinky.
Not at all.
Right.
Careful. There's one called Dig, which is designed to help dog lovers
Dig, you
match.
said.
Dig.
Okay, yep.
To match with a fellow, pet lover.
I love that.
There's adorable photographs in there, people with their pets. Just think of the disaster with the chemistry. Your dogs have to get along as well as you.
Absolutely. You do not want to match with someone who's allergic to your animals.
Yeah.
So this works for me. And also, it's easier than a dog park.
It's also delightful that they suggest all sorts of pet-friendly date ideas.
Oh, amazing. That is so
I've got
cool.
a theory you can't trust someone who doesn't love a dog.
I
So
agree.
you wipe out half the market there,
It's
which
true.
is good.
What about for people who are over a certain age and looking for love? Because there are many, many people in these different stages of life.
Look,
who
I
wanna
think
hook up.
there is no reason why you couldn't use all the apps out there.
Okay.
However, if you wanted to play the odds, you are probably better off going to something like Zoosk or Lumo or there's quite a few in that space, you know, that...
Silver singles?
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know how I know that? Somehow I've landed on their spam email list.
Isn't that for over 70s, Joe?
Oh, Joe!
Slightly offended.
Oh, there you go.
Where did you get my information and why would I be interested?
Maybe it's a golden ticket, you know? It's sweet good times in there.
Now, Vanessa, I've got to ask, all of the apps that you've mentioned, they're LGBTQ, EFG friendly?
They absolutely seem to have to be these days to get a toehold in the market, and I think that's a fantastic thing. And we're not just talking about, you know, lesbian and gay relationships. We're talking about people who identify as non-binary, being able to hop into these apps and really find people who are, you know, open to meeting someone just like them.
I love that. Tell me though, and I know a lot of girlfriends who are a little bit shy of the apps, because how do we know that people aren't being dishonest?
Like catfished, that whole...
Well, yeah, I mean, even when you say, oh, you know, I'm a certain age, but then you meet them and you're like, oh, are you? I'm not so sure about that. What sorts of experiences have you heard of where people can sort of safeguard against that?
In the first instance, there's always going to be some unknowns, so exercise some caution. Let your friends know where you're going, meet in a public place, you know, and try and exchange enough information that you can get a sense of a person, and then be ready to pull the pin early. You know, don't be afraid to do that. You're well entitled. The other thing is get your friend network involved. Have them give you a cheeky call for an out. You know, make sure that they're vetting your profile, and have them look at the profiles of people that you're interested in to see if they pick up on something that you might not have registered.
Hey, we've all been there.
Vanessa, it's an enlightening discussion. It's a big market, as you've described us. Thanks for giving us all the information. We really appreciate it. From algorithms about matching mates to vegan or not to vegan, that's coming up next right here on the House of Wellness.
Guys, let's talk about a topic very close to my heart, food. I am absolutely obsessed. I'd love to know, in 20 words or less, what would you describe your diet like, Joe?
I do my best, often fail.
You've got a few left. Any more?
Well, no, I try not to eat sugar. I avoid bready, starchy foods.
But
I
no
guess
title?
I'm low
No
GI.
name?
I
No
would
GI?
say low GI.
All right, Duff.
Trying to eat more vegetables, trying to eat less. Used to overeat, playing sport for a living. And trying to be reasonably healthy. Heinzie would be how I'd describe it.
Well, I would best describe myself as a jerf. Not a jerk. A jerf, all right, which just stands for just eat real food. For me, it's kind of a low-carb, healthy fat approach, making sure that I find my carbs from above-ground vegetables, like my cauliflower, my broccoli. But I tell you what is a huge movement, which is the vegan movement. And something that really gets up my goat a little bit is the fact that Aussies eat way too much meat.
Right.
And because I eat a 90% plant-based diet, I actually get asked a lot if I'm actually a vegan. And the answer is no. As a functional nutritionist, I believe truly that we thrive optimally eating a mainly plant-based foods, but a little bit of well-sourced animal protein and good fats thrown in as well. But it's really important, like it really grinds my goat a bit. If you're going to go vegan, there's a few things and a few hard truths you actually need to know. When it comes to the vegan lifestyle, there's been a huge increase in highly processed and refined fake versions of meat. A lot of these fake meats and fake versions of dairy contained highly refined ingredients like processed sugars, seed oils such as canola and sunflower. Now, these oils have an unbalanced ratio of omega-6 to 3, and consuming too much omega-6 is linked to poor gut health, bad digestion, autoimmune issues and inflammation, which is a word we talk a lot about. In the US at the moment, the biggest rising trend in food is actually vegan. Even in fast food outlets, they're ditching their meat-based products for vegan versions. And as we know, LA leads the scene when it comes to food fads. But the question is, are vegan options now creeping into the fast food outlets the best way to go? Let's find out.
It's 100% plant-based. It's soy, non-GMO. It's got 22 grams of protein and only 140 calories. It's not made in a lab. It's really good.
John Carney's been pumping out traditional burgers from his fast food van in LA for 15 years. But these days, meat is not on top of the menu.
The vegan burgers taste like burgers, and they're doing chicken that tastes like chicken, and it's crazy, you know? So we started buying 10 cases every about 2.5 months for the 2 stores, and now we're going through 10 cases every 3 weeks.
No doubt it's making an impact. But whether the taste really is as good as the traditional one with a lot, or it's a diet-based choice, or an ethical one, vegan is the new meat.
Okay, so vegan customers is the fastest growing segment of our business right now.
It's very easy to get caught up in the fancier side of the vegan movement. You know, your brown rice macro bowls and your tofu curries.
But it's here on the street, downtown in fast food territory, where vegan has taken hold. And with the taco truck just about on every corner, the food that's all things to all people is Mexican.
So this is the vegan taco and the tortilla. What are they made from?
Flour tortilla and corn tortilla.
Fantastic. So these are gluten-free?
Yes, gluten-free.
Most of the foods from Mexican culture, such as rice, beans and fruit, are naturally vegan. So with the range of plant-based ingredients on offer, Mexican Takeaway is one of the most versatile, tasty vegan fast foods in town.
Daniel, can I work here?
Of course.
No, I'm sold. I'm a happy man.
Another food that's a huge part of the American diet is donuts. But these are your vegan variety.
The burger was vegan, but maybe not so healthy. These donuts, on the other hand, are gluten-free, dairy-free and refined sugar-free. They're made with an almond meal base and sweetened only with maple syrup or honey.
And the bonus is they actually taste good too. So yes, some foods can be successfully veganised, even if they're designed to be sweet. And no, just because something is labelled vegan doesn't always mean it's healthy.
Oh, I tell you what, those donuts were so delicious. They were yum.
Amazing.
Oh.
I can't believe there's no refined sugar in that.
I know.
So there are substitutes, obviously, that are really healthy,
Absolutely.
that aren't synthetic.
All right, let's get stuck in.
Okay.
So we're going to use really good quality oils, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil. They're the types of fats that we want to be celebrating. We want to be celebrating things like nuts and seeds. Hemp is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to nutrition, which is really, really exciting. And if you're going to ditch the dairy, coconut cream, coconut yogurt, they are so versatile.
Delicious.
From sweet to savoury, they're absolutely delicious. If you are going to go vegan. In particular, it is really, really helpful for many people to take a good B12 and an iron supplement, and don't forget fermented vegetables for really fantastic gut health. But I cannot stress enough, guys, each and every one of you right now, get into the kitchen. The key is cooking from scratch with real food, so forget the fake prawns, stick with real food, because that's where it starts.
Well, this man is currently writing his 10th cookbook, Joe, so he knows a bit about it. Very passionate description. Thank you, mate. Vegan doesn't necessarily mean healthy. I do have a bit of a weakness, though, when it comes to some foods, a bit like hot chips. That's my...
I love hot chips.
Mate, and I've got a...
Bring the hot chips.
Oi, put in the coconut.
A friend in kind is NRL star and halfback Benji Marshall. He does too.
Hot chips, they're a bit of my weakness. Just always been addicted to them since I was a kid. I actually went to bungee jumping, couldn't jump. I was that guy. Running, believe it or not, we do it every day for training, so I like to change it up and try other things, but yeah, I don't enjoy running. I only sleep for probably 5 to 6 hours a night, but I do nap in the afternoon, so I'm a bit like a grandparent, really. I actually hate losing anything. Even when I play cards against my wife, I never let her win, or even when I play against kids, I don't let them win either. Yeah, a lot of people won't know, but the Macarena. What was that?
Welcome back to the House of Wellness. We don't often get to classify people as true pioneers when it comes to sport, but Misha Mertz is just that. She's a US national women's Golden Gloves champion, a former Australian champion. She owns her own boxing gym in Melbourne. She trains both men and women on equal footing, plus she's written 3 books on boxing. It's a fairly decent CV. Thanks for joining us, Misha.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you in the House of Wellness. What are you seeing in boxing at the moment? As a bit of a pioneer, you're seeing more girls getting into the sport?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's a huge amount of girls getting into the sport, and younger, and you know, the competition is getting deeper and deeper, even in Australia, where, say, 10 years ago it was pretty thin on the ground. But it's amazing now. It's fabulous.
I love seeing that, for girls to throw themselves into a sport that they love, because I suppose traditionally, a long time ago, it was seen as not the done thing for girls, perhaps when you started. But for myself, the idea scares the bejesus out of me. What makes you step into the ring and actually fight someone?
Well, look, probably the fact that it's scary is part of it. You know, like, we're always, you know, looking for things to make us feel alive. And definitely, you know, boxing is one of those things. They kind of learn through boxing that they're actually a lot tougher and a lot more resilient than they perhaps thought they were. And, you know, from the outside looking in, it does look scary. It is scary, but it's also, you know, it's within the realms of possibility. So you can do it. You can do it. You know, it's not like sort of doing a backflip or, you know, doing some other extreme kind of sports. You know, it's very human in that sense. You know.
Female boxing's got a great heritage, though. Can you talk us through some of the legends of female boxing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I had the great good fortune to meet a lot of them when I was in the United States 10 years ago now, competing in the Masters division. And, you know, there's some incredible women, because they were just pushing their way into a sport that really was all about being a man, you know, and men felt so resistant to it. They tried everything, you know, they tried... You know, you're not going to have babies. You know, once they get punched in the face, they'll cry and run away. And I don't like it, and no one's going to watch it. And so many.
So Muhammad Ali's daughter's gone on to be a champion in her own right. I think Joe Frazier might have had a daughter who was a superstar boxer.
Yeah, a lot of those women were sort of circulating around the time of, I guess, you know, there've been lots of surges in women's boxing, but the one that came in the mid-90s that really pushed me, or, you know, like, allowed me to do it. I mean, I realised that was boxing. Women were boxing overseas because of the internet. I think that really drove it.
Being in the fitness industry, I get asked a lot by women, what's the best way to train for my body type? What's the best way to stay fit? Boxing's incredible, right?
Absolutely, because it uses both energy systems. So you need to be physically strong, but you also need to be aerobically fit. You need to be conditioned. You need to be agile. You need to be, you know, have good reflexes. You need to, you know, it's just an all-round great way of staying in shape.
And there's a difference between, like, I've done kickboxing classes, right? But when you're actually competing against someone, that's a different experience. And am I too old to start?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're never too old to start. In fact, when I sort of resumed, I guess, boxing, I was in my 40s, and I was actually fighting when I was 45.
Wow.
You know, that's a recent thing. The Masters division is a recent thing. It started to be something, you know, in the United States, and now it's taken off in Australia, and it's a huge, you know, I have a boxer who trains in my gym who's had 4 fights now, and he's 69.
Oh, I know.
Wow.
And he just started, you know, like, it's not like he's been boxing all his life. So it's absolutely never too late.
Well, Mishes, there's no doubt that boxing is the best high-intensity, kilojoule burning workout you can do. It's also one hell of a way to knock out some stress, I imagine. Plus, there's something about that one-on-one combat that really brings out the competitive side of us, which is something that Rach and I both discovered, watch out for this, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
When we got some tips on self-defence from a black belt in martial arts.
Andre Kenyatte is a 5th Dan black belt in Taekwondo and runs her own self-defence classes.
Welcome to the Ladies Self-Defence course. Okay,
Thank you.
Yes, I'm very excited that you guys are here.
Yes.
Now I'm going to teach you how to kick butt.
We're going to break boards today, or what?
Yeah, we can break boards. Do you want it?
I would love to.
Okay, you want to break a board?
When are you going to get attacked by a board?
I reckon you could break a board.
Absolutely no sense. I just for the fun of it, like.
Well, actually, the first thing we're going to learn is called a hammer fist strike.
Okay.
So this one, anybody can do. So hammer fist this is basically the steel of the hammer, and here's the handle. So we're going to bring the handle down and then the hammer fist. That's it, and we're going to do it across your body. Boom, yes. And as we're doing it, we're going to go Good. Self-defense for women has become a lot more popular. People that are a little bit more fearful of something happening to them or something happening to their loved one. If we're here and someone's pulling you back, or if we're here and someone's pulling you back.
This one. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the women that come to the class, they really want to be empowered, to know that they have the physical skills to be able to defend themselves if the situation ever called for it.
Whoa! Nice!
Predominantly, it's run if you can, hide, take a deep breath, and get ready to fight. So you've learned 3 things now. Let's put it all together. How about Joe? You attack Rachel?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Go easy on me, remember. Why would I go easy on you? I'm guarding you. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go down.
Yes.
Around.
Yes. And wrap. You're not supposed to be giggling, though.
I so fell on you then. Are you okay? I'm good. I fully put my elbow into your ribs.
No, it was my boob. I do have a surprise for you guys. After your second lesson, this is the board.
No way. I don't believe it.
100%.
Wow.
But after your first lesson, this is the board you break.
Okay. Awesome.
I do think it's a real shame that women feel the need to have to come to a self-defense course to be able to walk around. I'll get you to write something that you think is blocking you. I also think that everybody should go to a self-defense course and learn some physical skills to be able to defend themselves if that situation were to occur. Read it first, and when you're ready, take a deep breath.
Okay.
And I hope it never does for anybody.
I can't tell you how profound that experience was
Wow.
of that self-defense. And what Andre did for us really was shift a mindset for me, just through teaching me those moves, which were really basic, that made me understand that I'm not a victim. No matter what happens, I can actually engage with whatever is happening and I can fight back. And she really showed us how.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was powerful,
just
Jo.
changed my mind completely, and I'll never forget that experience.
Great story. It was brilliant. Can I ask you, what did you write on the board?
Yeah, good question.
Well, I wrote a thing about, something that is a block for me in all of my creative endeavours. And then my answer to it was that the answers are inside me. I just have to trust.
That's
and then
so
I went,
cool.
yes!
I'm never parking in your car park again. Ever. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Got a little competitive view on Rach too, I have to say. I loved it. Hey, after the break, more on medicine as food, Ayurvedic style, and stay tuned to hear more about how you can win a 7 nights of rejuvenation at Sukhavati in Bali. That's coming up on the House of Wellness.
We're taking a trip to Southeast Asia today with my rich, fragrant, coconut creamy prawn and tofu luxa. It's addictively delicious and surprisingly easy to make. BioGland's collagen broth powder provides the nutritious base for our comforting soup. It has anti-inflammatory properties and can help support healthy joint function and gut health. We add our broth to our store-bought luxa paste that's been sizzling away. Bring it to a simmer. Then add coconut milk, raw prawns, and pan-seared tofu. 5 minutes later, we can ladle our luxa over cooked noodles and garnish with crunchy bean shoots, coriander leaves, and a little sliced chili if you like it hot. Simply slurp and enjoy.
Welcome back to the House of Wellness. AFL legend Matthew Richardson spent some time at our retreat, Sukhavati in Bali recently. It's fair to say, Joe, some of the experiences were quite foreign to him. He was a little bit nervous, didn't know what was going on. One of the big ones is a shift in diet, and a big part of the whole experience up there is about the Ayurvedic tradition of using food as medicine It's 100% vegetarian that is designed to help the body focus on healing and repairing. And joining us is Tegan Wallace, who specialises in Ayurvedic medicine. She's also a nutritionist and spends a lot of time up there in Bali. Tegan, thanks for coming in.
No worries.
Welcome.
Give us a bit of an overview. What does Ayurvedic medicine and food mean to you?
So Ayurvedic medicine is a system of natural and holistic medicine that originated out of India. And it's the oldest and most comprehensive medical system that there is. So it's over 5,000 years old. But Ayurveda is more than that. It's a way of life. You know, it's a lifestyle to really create a state of being that's one of health, happiness, and peace, you know, on the level of the mind, body, spirit, and food is central in achieving that.
Well, explain to us how food is a part of Ayurvedic medicine.
Food's central to Ayurvedic healing. So we use it as a way to prevent disease, to maintain health and well-being, and we also use it to heal disease as well. So there's actually a saying in Ayurveda that says, when diet is correct, then medicine is of no use, of no need, and when diet is incorrect, then medicine is of no use. So it really highlights the importance of food as medicine in this.
Can we talk about some of the ingredients that you've brought in, Tegan, and what's on offer here?
Yeah, well, these are so many beautiful healing spices. So first of all, we've got ginger here, which is a universal medicine chest in one humble little root. So it's a really strong anti-inflammatory. It's wonderful for digestion. It's good for nausea, great for colds and flus to really break up mucus and congestion. So turmeric is a bit of a craze at the moment.
Yes, very popular. Hashtag turmeric.
Shoved in everything.
Lattes and all.
Lattes, yeah, everything. But rightly so. So turmeric has been used in Ayurveda as a brain tonic, a liver tonic, an inflammation tonic for over 5,000 years. And there's now over 5,500 research papers proving these benefits of turmeric.
I did not know it came like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought it always came like that.
Actually, this one here. It's more this one here.
It's beautiful
yeah,
colour.
that's that colour there. So you can see that vibrant.
So would you eat it fresh like that, or always is going to be ground?
Both is great.
Okay.
So again, spices can be medicine, or you can use the fresh root. So just this piece, you know, you can juice it, you can grate it, you can add it to food for this anti-inflammatory, you know, it helps with mind, memory, concentration. It's fantastic.
And Tegan, in Ayurveda, you're going to get a specific diet according to your body type. Can you explain a bit of that?
Yeah, so in Ayurveda we say everyone's unique.
Yeah.
You know, you look around, we all look differently, we think differently, we act differently. And so because of that, Ayurveda says there's no one-size-fits-all approach to health.
I love that so much.
Definitely, yeah, and which is so refreshing as well. And so Ayurveda gives you, I guess, the framework, the language and the guidelines to say, okay, this is the best food for your unique constitution that enhances your strengths.
Yep.
And these are the ones that maybe you should minimise or avoid that can lead you down the path of disease.
So how do you assess someone's constitution?
You can see a practitioner. Yeah, and we take your pulse.
Yes, the pulse.
Right.
Yeah.
Doing the Ayurvedic pulse diagnosis. And we can just pick up on, you know, your physical characteristics, your emotional traits. That gives us little cues to say, okay, this is, you know, your predominant constitution.
Well, Tegan, thanks for that insight. Our man, Gerald Quigley, has been talking up the benefits of turmeric for a long while as well. Gerald, what can you tell us?
So we talk about its use for reducing inflammation, and how often do we talk about that? There's over 300 physiological actions that so far we've identified with turmeric, curcumin being the active ingredient, the main active within there. Just brilliant, brilliant stuff. And clinical papers started being published in the early 1800s, so it's been around for a long time.
So when you're talking about inflammation, are we looking at things like arthritis? What else can it be useful for?
Well, any inflammation. So much chronic disease, Joe, is a result of inflammation that's just starting to overtake the body. So whether it's joint issues, gut issues, Tegan mentioned brain issues. So maybe brain deterioration over time is an inflammatory response. We need to be using curcumin constantly, make it part of our everyday things that we use. True, Tegan? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's amazing.
The important part, there's so many different options and you need to get advice. So you talk to someone, your Ayurvedic practitioner, an accredited herbal practitioner, your health practitioner. Just get some guidance as to the best option.
The A to Z of Vitamins is brought to us by Bioceuticals, your choice for high-quality, practitioner-only, nutritional and therapeutic supplements.
Welcome back to the House of Wellness. A few weeks ago, I had the great pleasure of taking my colleague on Channel 7 Footy and an old mate, Matthew Richardson, to Sukhavati, Bali, our retreat. And the experience was a good one, I think. We're going to ask the man himself, Matthew Richardson, who's an AFL legend, kicked 800 goals for the Tigers, a Hall of Fame legend. Richo, good to have you on the House of Wellness, mate. How did you find the experience up in Bali?
Yeah, really loved it. It was something different. I've never done anything like that before. You know, I've done yoga at footy and a little bit of meditation, but to actually go there and stay for, 3-4 days and really immerse yourself in it, it was great.
Hines, you're sitting alongside a mild-mannered, relaxed, fairly calm-looking sort of guy.
I know.
But Joe, you know Richo.
Yes.
I've been banging on about this for years, saying if anyone needed to go to our retreat in Bali, it's that lunatic out there.
Mate,
he was a crazy man, Heinzie. Look at him.
I love it.
I love that.
That's not normal.
Dude, that's the AFL I grew up with. That's what we see. That's entertainment.
That's what we loved your passion,
Yes.
Richo. That's what we loved.
And I come in peace.
Yeah, isn't it?
I come in
know.
peace on the couch. I got to ask, mate, Richard, what was the most revealing part of this process for you? Was it the pulse reading?
Yeah, probably that, because, I mean, you can be sceptical, can't you, when you go into something like that? But when the doc was reading my pulse, he hit the nail on the head with 2 or 3 things, and you're like, you can't make that up.
Can I have your pulse?
Yeah.
Has had a temper. Has had a temper.
That was pretty amazing to see how spot on he was with your back, and then you went into that massage with the oil on the head. What was that like?
Well, you sort of don't know what you're going into, but I'd heard it was really good. Luke had told me about it, and when I walked out of there, I could have slept for hours. It was just so relaxing, and I don't know, the hot oil, when it hits your forehead, it takes you to a place you can't imagine, really.
Do they explain what that's for? Or
Yeah,
just
well,
to
that is
feel good?
a bit of all of the above. But almost, I can't stay awake when they put that warm oil on your head. So you've got 80,000 thoughts a day, and that just quietens the nervous system, quietens the brain. You pour warm oil over that part of your head.
So that's like a mindfulness exercise as well.
In itself, And initially, I'm a bit like you. It feels a bit awkward, a bit uncomfortable.
Well, you're sort of not ready for it, and then the oil hits your head, and you're like, gee. But then, as you said,
is it quite hypnotic almost?
Yeah, it is.
Now, what's one thing you're going to bring back? What's one thing you've brought back into your day-to-day life?
I think probably the meditation with Steve was the thing that I've brought home. Twice a day. Yeah, twice a day for 20, and I feel calmer. That lunatic you just saw on the screen. I don't know. I just feel twice a day for 20 minutes in the morning and in the afternoon. I just immediately felt calmer, more patient.
The other day, you were about to give a speech, and that's what you do for a living these days. And everyone at Hall of Fame at Richmond, it's a big event, you're MC, everyone gets a little bit uptight about it, and you're saying that it came in pretty handy?
Yeah, it did. I mean, I was really nervous about this function I was MCing, the Richmond Hall of Fame. You're inducting people into the Hall of Fame. It's a big deal around a footy club, and I felt quite nervous leading into it. So I got to the venue, I had a bit of spare time, I just went and found a quiet corner, and I did 20 minutes of meditation, and I came downstairs, felt really relaxed, and I think I did a good job on the night. But it's just a tool to calm yourself down. You can get worked up in your mind and get carried away about things. Just brings you back level, and I recommend it to everyone.
You could have used that in the middle of the footy field. You just sit down just for 5 minutes.
I love
Jumped into the front row and join the cheers.
I want to go. Darth, can we organise a trip?
Amazing.
Well, it was funny you say that. It's great to hear that Richo had a good time up there. And if you want to experience everything that Richo did, I'm very excited to be able to give away 2 double passes for 2 couples to spend 7 nights at Sukhavati in Bali. You'll enjoy the complete Richo package, which is all the Ayurvedic treatments, yoga, meditation, spa treatments, personalised consultations. So I think you'll love it. And thanks to the team at Jetstar Business Class, are going to fly you up there as well.
Nice.
To enter, Heinzie, go to our website, houseofwellness.com.au. All the details are there, Joe.
Are we guaranteed that we're going to laugh that much if we go? Yeah. I don't know what was going on with the 2 of you there.
That was so good.
Had someone farted or something?
You felt self-conscious.
A little bit, didn't you? Yeah. But then after, I still laugh when I look at that again. It was a lot of fun. Hey, make sure you tune into our House of Wellness Radio every Sunday as well. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Richo, and thanks to our good friends at Chemist Warehouse.